Here we are again, letting our hair down a bit over a cuppa. And today, we're going to be talking a bit about relationships. I mentioned that my yoga journey had really had a profound effect on my relationships. In particular, I would say with my mother. Mum is now getting on for 92 years old, and she's entering mid-stage Alzheimer's. But I'm here to tell you, she is the pistol she always was. Mum's always been easygoing, go with the flow, don't let things get you down too much. And boy, am I learning from her. I have a bit more of my father in me. And that sense of control and of not letting things sort of get out of hand. And I'm seeing the way Mum just been going about things as she always has. She participates in conversations beautifully. Doesn't worry that maybe this is the 5th or 6th time in the past 10 minutes that she said the same thing. She's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Turns out, right now, she's hilarious in the same way. Quite a few times. But it's great. And it doesn't bother her. And that's the way it should be. She might be worried about it. Like, oh, did I already say that? Oh, is it embarrassing? But no, she's comfortable with who she is. Always has been. Sally's forth. It's beautiful to behold. Is yoga coming into this? You ask yourself. And I mean, that's something I've been trying to bring forth in myself, And the funny thing is, I was like that as a little girl. And then, I started to be a real planner and really to show up, being absolutely good to my word was very important, even to my own word about what was happening, say, that day. And I would tie myself in knots, really just go out of my way for things, that weren't that important, that could be put off, didn't even need to happen. And it was this kind of trying to push things, trying just to get it into that hole, as it were. Is it a square peg? Oh, maybe it is. And that's not useful, really. It's a bit extreme, yeah. What yoga has done is that yoga has helped me gain more balance. And it has helped me let things speak to me rather than plan and execute. But don't get me wrong, you've got to have, an idea of what's happening. But I think you can get over-focused on it and you get a bit blinkered. I do. So there's this thing going on just outside of my vision because of the blinkers that I miss. I totally miss. And that's really rather sad. And you know, that never happened to my mum. So I'm looking at mum and I'm looking at the yoga and I'm seeing how this viewpoint helped mum. And the yoga has been giving me the benefit of that. And you know what? It's also then helped me give back to mum. I'm more relaxed with the kind of grounding that yoga gives me. I mentioned this before. I can be, a little overexcitable. And I'm just easier to be grounded, to laugh, to go with the flow with my mum. And obviously being a carer can be a little difficult at times. And yes, it's rewarding. I feel so grateful that I can have this time with her. But I want that time to be as good as it can be. And yoga has really helped me with that. Now, don't necessarily get me all wrong, because it's not all sweetness and light. I found that when I was getting into my yoga, I was having some pretty big internal changes. And that affected some of my friendships in a way where I found some people in my life to be a little frustrating. There's this Buddhist idea of a Sangha, and it's all about your community. And in the end, it's about having a supportive community, Who do you call to you? Who do you find yourself surrounded by? This is very important. And I found that sometimes the things in people that I'd liked started to take on less importance in how I saw them when I was getting up to speed in my yoga journey in the early days. And this internal work was really shifting a lot. Perhaps the person could be somewhat judgmental, and that took on more importance in my mind. Maybe something like that will change your viewpoint in your friendships. Or it might not even be quite so dramatic. Could just be your attention has shifted. And the things that are meaningful to you have become different and are no longer the same as a friend of yours. And you drift apart. I know some people have said that it can happen in some of the very intimate relationships. And I have not actually found that really to be the case myself. It has actually only really strengthened my intimate relationships as I've been going on my yoga journey. And perhaps that's because I am more grounded and less and less excitable. It may actually very well be the case. I was talking about this range of emotion presenting itself. And I think it's helpful that it really doesn't so much anymore, But it really is important in your life to have a supportive community. It doesn't just have to include people, of course. We've got our other family members here, haven't we? Mine being the canine variety, right? But this is something that it can be very hard for us to think about. We're barely kind of sort of getting through our days and keeping up with everything. But relationships to humans are so important. And they're very important for overall well-being. People with strong relationships, it doesn't have to be the world, but to nurture and to feel connected with strong relationships, it's very important for your overall health and well-being. And yoga has definitely helped me with that. It's interesting. It started off with a physical journey, and it moved into so many different places, relationships being one of them.